people who are completely new to it, this is going to be one perfect class for you all. So basically in this 1 hour session, I'm going to debunk what exactly is manifestation, how it works, and how do you get started with it. I hope my voice is clearly audible. Okay, yeah, I'm having a bit of a connectivity issue, so yeah. All right. So basically, we are going to be covering all the basics of manifestation in this class. That is just understanding what exactly manifestation is and how it works. Because if I directly jump onto just teaching you, okay, you can manifest like this, or you can manifest like this, do this, and you'll be able to manifest this. It won't make sense because you don't even know what exactly manifestation is and where it came from and how it works. So one thing that I'd like to mention is whatever I'll be teaching is backed by logic and science. Manifestation is something that is backed by quantum physics. It's not कि भाई हवा में information दिया जा रहा है. So it is valid. It is perfectly backed by science, and I'll be debunking everything in a very logical manner as well. So without any further delay, I think we're good to go. One thing I'd just like to request you all to sit with is a pen and a notebook. You will be needing that. And apart from that, I think we are good to go. And it's going to be a very interactive session. So I'll be asking you questions and you can ask me questions. If there is something that you couldn't understand about the topic, please don't hesitate to ask me to repeat it for you. I'll definitely repeat it once again in case it's not clear. So I think we are good to go and we can begin with today's class. So the very first question I asked you guys is what exactly do you mean by manifestation? So we got a lot of different answers. Some said it's spiritual, some said that there's a process where you ask and you receive, you believe, etc. So if I had to define manifestation, that is what exactly manifestation means in textbook terms, that is the definition. Then manifestation is simply a sign of something that is coming into existence. So a sign of something happening, a sign of something that is coming into existence from the immaterialistic realm to the materialistic realm. Now I know there were two different terms used here, immaterialistic and materialistic. So the immaterialistic realm is basically a realm where whatever we desire is already present. And the materialistic realm, now in materialistic realm, it doesn't have to be physical things like a car, house, money, etc. It can be your dream life, it can be a dream job, a relationship, anything that you desire, anything and everything is already present in the immaterialistic realm. Now there is the other realm that is known as the materialistic realm. Now the materialistic realm is the realm where we are present, that is the physical realm. So this is where we are present, we're able to touch, we're able to see, we're able to hear, we're able to feel. So that is what these two realms are about. And basically manifestation is a sign of something that is shifting from the immaterialistic to the materialistic realm. That is something that you desire is coming into reality, to put it in very simple words. Another synonym just to add to your vocabulary, I think it would be really fun to share this. For manifestation is conjuring. So a lot of us have associated conjuring as a negative term due to the horror movie series that has come out. So conjuring simply again means a sign of something that is coming into existence. They took it in a negative way and they very cleverly converted it into something horror. But yes, that means the same thing. It's not related to manifestation, that manifestation is negative or anything, but just something that is a fun little fact that I'd like you to know. So I hope the definition of manifestation is clear. And now that brings me to the next question for you all. That is, what do you think, what principle would be behind manifestation? Like, how does manifestation work? It might work on something. So what is that something? Any guesses? Visualization. Okay. So visualization is a technique. It's a manifestation technique. It helps you manifest. Belief and mindset are two things you require to manifest. No. Okay. Making in reality. Energy. Okay. Law of attraction. Yes. Who is this? So usually it takes quite some time to get to the law of attraction. You guys are really smart, honestly. I think Shabdali and there was one more person who mentioned the law of attraction, Vasudha. Yeah. So you guys are pretty smart, and yes, so all the things that you mentioned were absolutely correct. But when you talk about visualization, when you talk about energy, when you talk about belief system, think of manifestation as a toolbox. So when you're assembling your toolbox, all these things that you just mentioned are these little tools you're assembling in it. But what exactly is helping this tool, what exactly is helping it come into reality is the law of attraction. So manifestation works on the law of attraction. Now, you might be thinking, what exactly is the law of attraction? So, the law of attraction is one of the laws of the universe. Now, the universe has several laws, like the law of karma, the law of vibration, law of karma, law of assumption, and I think the law of attraction. So, there are 7 to 8 laws in the universe, and the law of attraction is one of the laws we'll be learning about today that helps you manifest everything that you desire in life. So the law of attraction works on two more principles. Yes. So the law of attraction works on two basic principles. Now I'll be explaining these two principles with examples. I want you to write them down because these are what are the make it or break it points of manifestation. If you really understand these principles clearly, you're good to go and you're set for getting started with manifestation. So the first principle is like attracts like. Now, when I say like attracts like, taking a very simple example, I'm an artist. So I attract art, art attracts me. Like attracts like. Another relatable example, I think, that you all might relate to is so when you're building a conversation with anybody, that is, when you're communicating with an unknown person, I'm not talking about a formal conversation, but I'm talking about first, whenever we're building relationships, the first step that we take is building a conversation. So in that first conversation that you're having with a person, does person A talk about football and does person B talk about volleyball at the same time? No, right? No. So two people are not going to talk about two different things at the same time because that wouldn't make sense. So obviously not. Two people will not talk about the same two different topics at the same time. So at that moment of time, you don't pre-discuss ki ha, first we'll talk about this, then we'll talk about the weather, then we'll gossip about this person, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do that. No, it's not pre-planned as well. But in that moment, both of you are hooked onto this one topic that is one topic that you both are interested in. Like attracts like. You didn't have to try, you were simply attracted in a spontaneous manner. Exactly. That is like attracts like. Now, this is a very small example, but if you actually look at it, you just become a little more mindful. This principle works in every aspect of your life, from the smallest of the things to the biggest of the things. So, the first principle, like attracts like, I hope it is clear for everybody. All right. Okay, so now coming on to the second principle. The second principle is what you are, you attract. Now, when I talk about what you are, you attract, to understand this better, I'm just going to ask you a very obvious question. I know all of you are going to be like, "Ye kitna obvious question tha," but how many of you have had bad days?
I think everyone. No.
Isn't it such an
We
obvious question? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously, all of us have had bad days at some point or the other. So, to understand this principle better, I'll be sharing a personal example. That is, I think all of us can relate to it as well. So, when we're having a bad day, when our day starts at the wrong foot, आधा दिन भी गुजरा नहीं होगा and we'll just sit down and we'll start blaming everything or maybe everyone or maybe ourselves as well, even if half of the day didn't go as we planned. So this is something that I had the habit of doing, that when the day wouldn't go as I expected, I'd just sit down and I'd start having this self-sabotaging negative talk. I'll be like, Arey yaar, this day I can't wait for it to get over. And this is such a negative day, and mere saath hi aisa kyun hota hai, and everything like that. So we've all done this at some point or the other. So yes, I can see two, three people relating as well. So it's very relatable. It's very common to have that negative self-talk. I used to do it a lot. I still do it a lot. Even after being a manifestation coach, I still do it. But what I want to say is कि when I would do this and I would go ahead with my day, I would actually realize कि my day wasn't like it was exactly how I expected it to be, negative. So at the end of the day, when I was having a crappy day, I decided to watch a TED talk. So I was like, okay, let's just try out this positivity thing that has been going on. So positivity was trending and it is still in trend. So this word positive got a lot of hype, and I wanted to just check on how it works. So I watched this TED talk and they had a plan, and I decided, okay, I'll follow this. So the next time I was having a bad day and I almost went on to this self sabotaging trip, I stopped myself and I asked myself this simple question. Okay, this day hasn't been going as I planned, but what if I do something to end this day on a positive note? So, what if I do something that makes me happy, even if it is just making Maggie at night, that makes me feel good. So doing something small after a very crappy day. So when I went ahead and I did that, I didn't become Ambani, I didn't win the lottery, I wasn't the happiest person alive, but it was a good, decent day. You might be thinking, why am I sharing my personal story here? But if I repeat the principle, what you are, you attract. So when you think negative, you attract negativity. When you think positive, you'll attract positivity. And there is a logic behind it, because when we are thinking negative, we are expecting the negative to happen. We're already giving that invitation, we're sending that invitation out. Yes, I expect. And then when that thing happens, you're like, yes, I knew it, it's going to happen. And this is something that we forget to do with positivity. When it's something that we have to stay positive in, it becomes easier to doubt instead of having that faith. So, having a very good, clear, and healthy mindset is really important when you're getting into manifestation. And another thing that I'd like to clear here is that a lot of people have a very wrong definition fixed in their mind about positivity. So a lot of people think is positivity is equal to happiness. But positivity is not equal to happiness. A positive person does not stay happy 24/7. A positive person stays optimistic 24/7. So a lot of people get confused that, if I'm not happy or if I'm sad, if I'm expressing an emotion of sadness or I'm having a depression episode, I am a negative human being. But it's more about you're a human being. So positivity is not being happy 24/7, it's being optimistic 24/7. So when you're getting into manifestation, having a good, positive, optimistic mindset is really important, because you get what you want, and like attracts like, and what you are, you attract. So I hope the two principles are clear for all of you. Are there any queries? You all look very quiet. Is it boring for you all?
Oh no, very interesting.
All right. Okay. All right. So I think these two principles are something that you really need to keep in mind when you're getting started with manifestation. Now, coming on to my next question for you all, that is, what do you understand by the term universe? What is universe for you all?
Positive energy.
Positive energy. Amazing. Okay. Anything else? Beyond the moon and sun. Amazing. Okay.
Sometimes we call universe as in a terms of God.
God, yes. Okay. Happiness, spiritual guidance is the unexplored. Okay, now I'm getting all the answers. Unexplored with some energy. God, giving thanks to gratitude. Amazing. God, some energy who makes everything. Highest power, supreme power. Okay. Everything around me is part of the universe. Beautiful. Divine. Okay. All right. So a lot of there is a variety of answers that I did receive. All of them were obviously correct. Shiva, all right. So a lot of answers, a lot of different answers. So let's talk about one answer that was one of the commonest answers that I got. That is God. So a lot of people have two views that whether the universe and God are the same or is universe and God different. So, if I had to define the universe, before I do that for you, I have two questions to ask. And yes, I don't want you to answer with a long explanation. All I want you to answer is in a yes or a no. So, nothing more than a yes or a no. So, my first question to you is, have you ever seen God? And by seeing God, I don't mean seeing the idols that we have at home, but have you ever physically seen God? No? All right. No. Okay. So a lot of us have not got the opportunity to see God yet. All right. Coming on to who is this? Ashwini, I told you not to write anything else. Okay. So coming on to the second question that already Ashwini answered. Have you ever felt God? Yes. So
Yes.
we've all felt God. We might not have seen, touched, heard him or her, but we've felt the energy. So all the answers that I did get, whether it is the cosmos, God, whether it is Shiv or anything, the presence, the energy. So if I had to define universe, that is one common answer to give all of us. The one common answer is that the universe is equal to energy. Again, science students here, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, it can only be transferred, right? So that is energy. So energy is what makes up the universe. Now, so when you talk about God or when you talk about any other thing, like some people like to assume that the universe is everything around them. Some people think that the universe is them themselves. Now, that is something I leave it to you. But one common interpretation of the universe that binds us all together is that the universe is equal to energy. So now that we're done with that, we're done with the law of attraction. It's time to now come on to how does manifestation work, the moment you've all been waiting for, and how do you manifest? So in order to manifest, now listen to this carefully. In order to manifest anything that you desire, that is to bring the immaterial to the materialistic realm, you need to match the frequency on which this thing is vibrating in the universe. Now I know sab kuch bouncer bhi gaya hoga. I'll just repeat it once more. In order to manifest anything that is to bring the immaterial to the materialistic realm, you need to match the frequency on which this thing is vibrating in the universe. Now, this is where I come in and give the explanation of the same. I'll explain this. So basically, whenever we're wanting to manifest anything, as I mentioned in the beginning of the class, this thing is already present in the universe. That is the immaterialistic realm. So it's already present in the immaterialistic realm and it's vibrating at different frequencies. So everything that we desire in the universe, there are no there's no value, there's nothing. There's just energies that are present. It's vibrating at certain frequencies. So when you're wanting to manifest a car and the car is vibrating in this frequency, and if you are vibrating at this frequency, will you be able to manifest it? You're down here and the car is up here. Will you be able to manifest it? No. So obviously, when your vibration is low and the car is at a higher vibration, This car is not going to lower its vibration to come to you. What does that mean? You're going to raise your vibration either at par at the car, or you're going to have a higher vibration than the car. That helps the car come to you, it helps you attract the car. So basically, when you're manifesting anything, it's very simple. All you have to do is match the energy, match the frequency, and become the vibration. Now, one question that I know everybody might be thinking about is, how do I match the frequency? How do I match the vibration? So this is one question that you will have to wait for before. Exactly. So here's the question by Sukanya. How do I match the frequency? So yes, definitely I'll be sharing that by the end of the class. But before we even move on with this, there's another important topic to be discussed. But before we move on with that, I hope everybody is clear with the concept of how manifestation works, that is matching the frequencies. And by frequency, I do not mean the sound wali frequency. The frequency cannot be measured. So that is another thing. How will we get to know that we're vibrating at the levels? Anushka, I'll be explaining that in the end. Don't worry. Yeah. Yes. All right. So I hope everybody is clear with this. Yes, Sukanya, please do ask. You can unmute as well. Yeah. What if I have self-doubt before manifesting? Okay. So I think you just manifested the next topic right now. That was belief system. So we were just, the next topic before we were going to go ahead was about belief systems. So that talks all about doubt, how to get rid of doubt and how to build a strong belief system. So that question is definitely going to be answered in the next segment. So I hope everybody is clear with this much. And now moving on to belief systems. So when you're getting into manifestation, okay, Pranati, yes, you can ask. Could you unmute? Or you can maybe write it down in the chat as well. That's fine. And if there are any other queries regarding this topic, please do feel free to ask. If it's not clear, I'll repeat it again for you as well. So yes.
Ma'am, Abhinav just texted that he has missed the previous point. If you could just repeat that.
The how do you manifest wala part?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just repeat this again. That is, in order to manifest, that is to bring the immaterial to the materialistic realm, you need to match the frequency on which this thing is vibrating in the universe. That is, whatever we want, whatever we desire, is already present in the universe. That is the immaterial realm. So, from this immaterialistic realm, everything is vibrating at a different frequency. So, when we match the frequency of this thing that we're wanting to manifest, that is when we're able to attract that particular thing. If we're at a lower frequency, this thing is not going to lower its frequency. If we are at par of it, or if we are higher than this, we're vibrating at a higher level of this frequency, that is when this thing will actually raise its vibration to come to you. So that is how manifestation works. I think one question that you might be having is, how do you match the frequency? So in case that question is in mind, that will be covered in the end. So I hope that's clear. Yeah. All right. So yes, taking up Pranati's question, whatever I have received till now, has it been manifested by me or is it a gift from the universe? So Pranati, it's a very good question. First thing, there is this can be like best of both worlds. There's a little bit of both in here. So, one thing that you need to know scientifically, you manifest from your subconscious mind. So, half of the things that are there in your subconscious mind, that is what ends up happening most of the time. So, subconscious is what determines 90% of your reality. So, 60% of the time, whatever you have received in life is due to subconscious manifestations. What I am teaching you today is how to consciously use the power of manifestation. Your subconscious mind already naturally is born as a natural manifester, but your conscious mind is what needs to be trained to manifest your reality. So your subconscious has already manifested half of the reality that you have today. And apart from that, yes, almost 30 to 40% can be as can be termed as a gift from the universe as well. So yes. All right. And taking one final question before we move on is, um, what are your views on the book Secret by Rhonda Bryan? Yes, the power of the law of attraction. Navneet, I totally agree with it. And I would actually request you all to watch the movie Secret, the documentary that is available on Netflix, or you can read the book if you're a reader. But yes, the fact stated in the law of attraction about the law of attraction and the power of manifestation is absolutely correct. And it's backed by logic and science. So, yes. Uh, Okay, so that's a tarot chart, and it's the tarot card of the moon. So that is just it's not actually meaning anything. Actually, it's just the full moon, and it has all the zodiac signs in it. So yes, and yes, we'll take up all the questions in the end. So don't worry, because half of the questions get answered as we move on with the segment. But I'll take up some questions in some time. So before we take up the questions, we'll complete the course. So now coming on to the next segment, that is belief systems. So one thing that you need to know is that when you're getting into manifestation, your belief is what is going to manifest for you. So when you're manifesting, you will require that skill set. You might require the knowledge. You might require several different things. But what is actually going to help you manifest is your belief system. So the stronger your belief system is, the faster your manifestations come to you. The weaker it is, the delayed your manifestations are. So keep this in mind that I'm taking this time to explain something that is really important that a lot of people don't explain, that is working on your belief system. It's really important to build a strong belief system, because one thing that you need to know about the universe is that the universe works on energy. And where does doubt come from? So let's debunk this question that someone asked, I doubt my manifestations. So to answer this question, I'm going to ask you a question that if I asked you all to manifest a Ferrari without a single doubt as a beginner, now nowhere am I stating that you all are not capable of manifesting a Ferrari. Each and every person sitting in this room is capable of manifesting a lot more than a Ferrari. But my only condition here is, as a beginner, if I ask you to manifest a Ferrari without a single doubt, so you shouldn't even have a what if or how in your mind, not even a single question. Will you be able to do it? No? Okay, there's yes as well. If you guys are going to be able to do it, honestly, congratulations to you. And it's really good that you have the confidence to do it. Maybe, all right, a lot of people do usually say no, it's difficult as well. All right, a lot of you are pretty positive in this as well. That's great. So yes. All right. So now if I ask you to manifest a 1 rupee coin without a single doubt, will you be able to do it? Yes. So okay, so the yes came fast this time. All right. Yes, I can see yes, a very clear and a very loud yes coming from everybody here. So yes, it's pretty easy to manifest a 1 rupee coin, right? So why did this even happen? That's because our doubt is associated with value. So the more valuable the thing is, the more amount of doubt we'll have. The less the value, the less the doubt. So when you think about where does doubt come from, if you are manifesting something very, very big, you're going to have more doubts about it. And when you're manifesting something small that is very invaluable, you wouldn't even have any doubt about it because it doesn't even matter to you at times. But with the universe does not understand doubt. The universe doesn't understand value. The universe doesn't understand the value of a Ferrari or a 1 rupee coin or a house or money or anything. So if you put in that energy and confidence, that belief system that you just showed, in that I can manifest a 1 rupee coin without a single doubt, if you just take that belief system and put it for the Ferrari, that Ferrari will be standing out of your house before you even know it. That is how it works, because the universe doesn't distinguish between value. A Ferrari and a 1 rupee coin can be at the same level in the universe's mind. But what actually causes that level to get up and down is our doubt and the value. So, one thing that you really need to know is that value does not play any role in the universe that is there. And apart from that, another thing that a lot of people have issues with is asking. So when people ask, or when people are manifesting, they'll be like, I'll ask for 10,000 rupees. But they're hesitant in asking for maybe more because they think that they don't deserve it, or can they ask for it? So, one thing that you need to know is that you all are completely deserving of manifesting everything that you desire. Even if you ask for 100 crores, or even if you ask for anything, a good lifestyle, something non-materialistic as well, you're completely deserving of it. The universe doesn't distinguish in that factor. So when you're manifesting, you don't have to think about it, because with the universe it's very, very easy. Whatever you're asking, if I am putting in this manifestation, okay, I want to manifest, or I am going to manifest a house, so the universe turant says, okay, you'll get the house. And then 10 minutes later, if I'm sitting there and I'm doubting it, the universe is going to put me in the no category. So it's as easy as when you ask, you'll receive it. But when you doubt, it'll pick you up and it'll put you back into the no category, because you sent in that negative vibration. When you ask for something with a positive attitude, you get that positive vibration sent. And when you doubt it, you're sending in that negative vibration. And all the universe understands is vibration. So now that we know where does doubt come from and how does the value system work, and it doesn't mean anything for the universe, now is when we actually learn, or this is where we debunk how do you build a strong belief system. So building a strong belief system is very important, and it is very easy as well. Yes, Preksha. Is there a doubt? You can unmute and ask as well. Yeah, please tell me tips for strengthening the belief system. So that's what I'm going to come on to. Don't worry. All right. So yes, I think we can move on to the thing that I was just going to talk about. That was how to actually build a strong belief system. So when taking the example of a building, so when a very tall building is getting constructed, then the base of the building is always given the most importance. That is, the stronger the base is, the more firm the building stands. So when your base is strong, the building will stand strong. If your base is weak, the building won't even take 2 seconds to shatter down. So that is how manifestation works as well. Think of manifestations as your building, and think of the belief system as the base. So the stronger your belief system is, the stronger your manifestations stand. Now, how to build a strong belief system is really easy. You build it step by step. So you don't have to directly jump onto manifesting something big. You should start by taking baby steps. That is something that you've been taught your whole life. When you got into elementary school, did your teacher just hand over the 12th standard textbook and tell you, chalo, ab ye padhna start kar do? No, right? No, obviously not. So our teachers didn't just, because like, with the logic, yes, तुमको वैसे भी 12 साल बाद 12th standard का ही textbook पढ़ना है, so you have to now like, start studying 12th. No. So your teacher first taught you alphabets. From those alphabets, she taught you how to make words. From those words, she taught you how to make sentences, sentences to paragraphs, paragraphs to chapters. That is how it works. So it was all step by step. And same is the thing with your belief system. Your belief system is like a baby. It needs to be built. It needs to be fed. It needs to be grown. So the same thing that you apply here is start by manifesting the smallest of the things. Like start by manifesting a good cup of coffee when you wake up in the morning. So just affirm this to yourself. Yes, I'm going to have the best cup of coffee today. Start by manifesting a 1 rupee coin. Start by manifesting a 10 rupee note. Start by manifesting a good day. Start by manifesting a good headspace, a good mindset. So yes, I'll be coming on to that in the end, Titiksha. Yes. All right. So you can start by the smallest of the things. And then when you see the results, that is when I see, yes, the 1 rupee coin, oh, it happened. So when that 1 rupee coin, I started by, just a second, started by manifesting me and my husband being happy. Amazing, exactly. Start by something small and then move on. So let's say I manifested the 1 rupee coin. The next day I'll start by, okay, I'll manifest a 10 rupee coin now. So then after that, I've manifested 10 rupees. I move on to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, coming on to 100, 1,000. You're going to reach that higher level as well. But when you're doing that, this is not about how much you're manifesting. It's about the quality here. Your belief system starts to get strengthened. That is what actually works. That, you start to believe that, yes, this works. And that is what is the most important thing. Because by the time you reach 1,000, by the time you reach 2,000, you'll already have a strong belief system. You'll feel that confidence. This has happened with me 10 times before. So it is going to happen the 11th time as well. So that is what is required. This is very logical again. I'm not giving you some ritual to practice, or I'm not giving you some key, write it down 100 times a day and then it will work. It's logical. Break it down and do it step by step. Even if it's your goals in life, your goals in life will also require manifesting and they'll require efforts. They go hand in hand. So you break the bigger goal into pieces. So let's start by manifesting a smaller part of this goal today. Once that manifests, now I'll move on to a bigger part. So break everything down when you're getting started with manifesting, and it will definitely work. And what if you fail at some point? That is, what if your manifestation gets delayed or it didn't work for some reason? What do you do in that case? Then let's say I'm on 1,000 and now suddenly it didn't happen for some reason. Maybe I doubted or something wrong happened. So you just take a step back and start from rupees 20 again. So when you do that again, it regains your confidence, it regains your belief system. You don't have to necessarily do it with money, you can do it with anything. But it's just like giving yourself that constant proof and that affirmation ki, yes, it's working, it's going to work, and it's definitely working. It's something that yes, whenever I believe in it, it's working. So if I had to give one personal example, I think a lot of people do ask me how I built my belief system. So when you're getting your journey started, there's always going to be this one incident. It doesn't have to be related to materialistic things. It can be, or it can also be non-materialistic. But this one incident actually helped me build a very strong belief system. And this is something that each one of us will experience in a different way in our life when we're getting started with manifestation. So when I completed my course and when I wasn't even practicing manifestation, one thing I'd like to tell you about the universe is that when you actually get to know the power of manifestation, you subconsciously are manifesting a lot of things and you end up attracting a lot of miracles as well. So as I mentioned, I'm an artist. So at that time, I was really obsessed with this one post-Renaissance artist Vincent van Gogh. So I think you all might know or might not. It's okay. So Vincent van Gogh was a very famous artist, and I was obsessed with him. Obsessed at a very very like obsessed. So obviously I did not share this with anybody, and nobody would actually be interested in knowing about him as well. But I was crazy about him. I would study his life. Vincent van Gogh. Yes. Am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Vincent van Gogh was the artist that I was really hooked onto at that moment, and I studied his life history, the paintings. I started to recreate it, and I even went one step ahead to download a movie that was old and was completely hand painted. So when all this was going on, just 3 days later, my Masi came over and she got me this magazine. Now, this magazine was 10 years old that her mother in law found in their storeroom. And in that magazine, it was basically a monthly issue of the top 10 great artists of the world. And I ended up receiving that issue of Van Gogh. So I found it to be a little strange, as I could have received Picasso, I could have received Da Vinci, or any other artist, but I ended up receiving that issue of that month that was Van Gogh's. But I was still not convinced. I had my doubts. So just when this happened, I was very happy. Just 2 days later, just 2 days later after this incident happens, I get a call from my friend, and she was at that time just a colleague of mine. We worked on a project together, and she just gave me a call randomly, and she's like, "Hey, you're an artist, right?" So I said yes. So she's like, "I ordered these abstract art frames, and I got some posters free with it. They're all wrapped and packed, but they look like paintings to me, so can I send them over?" So she wasn't sure what they were about. So I said, "Okay, you send them over. If I don't like them, I'll return it back." So when she sent the paintings, they ended up like this. So if you could look behind, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six original, not original, but the six posters from Vincent van Gogh that were the paintings that are there in poster forms. And those were Van Gogh paintings that I ended up receiving as posters. And I was completely mind blown. I was a bit creeped out as well, honestly. It was getting a little personal. But yes, I was completely at that time shook because it was that specific. And it's very rare and it's too good to be coincidental for something like this to happen. So I knew it that I honestly, I did subconsciously manifest this into my life. So what I'm trying to convey by this example is that you do not, even when you had your doubts, how did you manifest? Sneha, when you have your doubts, it doesn't mean your manifestation is going to fail. You need to affirm, you need to do several things to build that belief system. But all that doubt does is it kind of does delay your manifestation a bit. So I started this practice of letting my manifestations go and kind of affirming. And what I used to do when I used to have a lot of doubt about my manifestations is I would write or make a list of all the things that have manifested into my life. So when I do that, it actually gives me faith. Yes, these are so many things that have already happened. So what makes me think that these things won't happen? So what I'm trying to actually convey by giving a lecture on belief system is ki you don't have to build your belief system on manifesting 10,000 rupees or 20,000 or something that is very, very valuable. So you don't have to think about it as ki when something big happens, that's when I believe. These posters might not even be worth 200 rupees, but they were enough for me to build a strong belief system. They were enough for me to actually manifest all of the things that I did desire. So that is how it works. The value never matters. So yes, I think someone did ask, do we manifest in the present tense? I'll be answering that question. And now that I hope everybody is clear with how belief system works and how important it is to build a strong. Are you all there, or have you all dozed off? Or is it boring for you all?
No, 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 no. We are here only.
Okay, great. All right. So now that brings me to the final segment that answers all your questions and it kind of makes sense to everybody as well. That is, how do I match the frequency and how exactly does manifestation work? So, in order to manifest, now listen to this carefully. Here's the catch. There was some connectivity issues. What happened 2 days? Jyoti, 2 days later, I got a call from a friend, and she ended up sending me free posters, and those posters ended up being Van Gogh's artworks. So that ended up manifesting for me, and that is what ended up happening. So yes. All right. So moving on to the final segment, listen to this carefully because this is where everything comes together. In order to manifest, that is to bring the immaterial to the materialistic realm, you need to embody already having it. You need to embody it through your thoughts. You need to embody it through your words, your behavior, your action, your feelings, everything. You need to embody already having it. What does embodying mean? Feeling the ownership of this thing, feeling that feeling the control over this thing, feeling that this thing is already yours, as if this thing is already yours. That is how manifestation works. And how do you know that you're matching the frequency? This is how you know when you're actually embodying it through doing all these things. You're perfectly matching your frequency or you're vibrating at even a higher frequency than what is required. It's as simple as that. For example, if I took a lot of materialistic examples that are related to money. So let's take up a non-materialistic example. So let's say 10 years down the line, I think of myself as a particular kind of a person. I think of myself maybe as a very successful businesswoman. I think of myself as someone who's very empowered. I have all these qualities that I think about. So now, when I want to become her and I want to manifest her into my life, what do? I embody her. I make decisions like her. I think like her. I act like her. That is how you embody it. And I know a lot of you might be thinking I'd be here teaching you how do you visualize, how does affirmations work, how does this work, how does that work. But it was really important to understand this because if you look at visualization, all the manifestation techniques, every single manifestation technique in this entire world works on this principle. Every single manifestation technique helps you embody it. When you're visualizing, what are you doing? You're closing your eyes and you're thinking about whatever it is you want and you're seeing yourself have it. You're doing it in the present tense and you're embodying it. You're feeling